What's up, guys? Proof here, bringing you a and I'm going to talk about post and pre-COD champs. This is HP on Yemen, and I decided to run with the AN94 iron sights. So pre-COD champs, as expected, our team was scrimming. We were playing a lot. We were looking really good. I've seen a lot of progression over us since Dallas, going into the COD champs. So, we worked on a lot of things as a team, S&D mainly. CTF, rotations, holding spawns for Hardpoint, just a lot of practice and just, trying to perfect any little kinks we had in our game. But,
Unfortunately, I did have a cruise booked a year and a half prior to an announcement of COD Champs even being held. And, just ironically, or not ironically, but coincidentally, it just happened to be the same weekend, of my cruise. So, before COD Champs, I had to, board a cruise ship for a vacation that I had plans with playing with my friends from home. We were able to work it out with Activision and Treyarch to pretty much, get me a flight booked out of one of the islands. So we didn't get to play about a week prior to COD Champs, but I feel like we played extremely well as a team. We did get to close to where we wanted to be before going into it. And, even at the event itself, we were able to scrim, further practice and get ourselves together. So I'm really, really happy with how our team played. I had fun on my vacation. I don't know how many of you have been on cruises. It was very fun. Hanging out with your buds and just, being able to live life just worry-free for a week is pretty awesome. It was a good, relaxing vacation, to say the least. We had a lot of fun. It was awesome. But, let's talk about the flight. The flight was really sketchy. Leaving on Honduras, there's about, what a lot of people call it, a pond hopper plane. There was about 7 people on my flight. Had to wait at the airport for about 3 hours. Had absolutely no service. It was brutal. I was really, really just bored. I mean, I went from having a great time just hanging out, eating crazy amounts of food for free and just great cooked food, steak dinners and all that, to having to sit in the airport in Honduras with no internet, no anything, no service whatsoever for 3.5 hours to fly to El Salvador. I landed in El Salvador. That was such a long day. I had to stay at that airport for about 2 hours, I think, before my next flight took off to go to LA. And at the airport, I actually didn't know what a lot of the security people were asking me. So at one point, I was taking off my shirts and stuff because I didn't know what this lady wanted from me. But she kept making hand gestures towards me. And keep in mind, they only speak Spanish there. So I'm just all right, I don't know what you want me to do, lady. So I'm over here taking off my shirts. Eventually, I figured out she just wanted to just search me. So that was pretty funny. If you were somewhere who actually were able to witness that, just me not knowing what the heck this lady's talking about. A few people behind me who did speak Spanish knew exactly what she was asking. They were actually cracking up that I had no idea what was going on. But it was just a long day at that El Salvador airport. But I'm glad once again I'm thankful that I was able to do both and not have to miss out on 2 things that are very important to me. Obviously, if they couldn't have made it work out, I would have just went to COD Champs and have to forfeit my trip or my cruise because I do find that tournament's priority. Come on, but once again, I'm just so thankful Activision was able to work that out with me and find a way to just make it happen where I could do both. So thank you to them. But now I want to talk about the tournament. The first day we had the round robin pool play kind of thing going on. Our first match was against I don't know the team. I think it was High Rising or Uprising or something like that. It was the Mexican team. Fairly easy match. That was probably the easiest game we played in our pool. I went on a 23 kill streak, almost got the nuke emblem. That would have been sick. Choked in the last minute, died by a guy, got shot in my back. I was oh man, I could have got the nuke emblem, man, but I can't complain. Our second match in that series was against TVA. They were able to take the S&D off of us. We did really well in the hardpoint. We were able to beat them in that. Went down to the S&D, we ended up losing that 6-4 or 6-5. Then we went to the CTF and we just did what we did best and played our game, rotated perfectly, and were able to get that CTF win pretty easy. So yeah, good games to them. The next day, which was Saturday, our first match. I don't remember who it was against, but I do want to talk about the Fear match. The Fear match caught me by surprise. I was expecting that to be a very, very just heated game, very, very close, but we were able to, walk through that match fairly easy.
I don't know if it was just that we were like, all right, we got to just play our amazing game. We can't like choke this right here. We got to win. And we were able to play really good. I think we won like 5-0 in the CTF, maybe by like 70 in the Hardpoint. And I don't remember the S&D, but I think that was like 6-4 or 6-3 or something like that. But, you know, Fear is a great team, and they just weren't playing their game that day maybe. But, you know, I'm definitely expecting them to place top 3 at events this year, or, you know, top 5 for sure. But, you know, good game. It was good games to them as well. And then after that match, we went on to play, pretty sure we went on to play for Rico after that. Yeah, we went on to play, let me think about this for a sec. Played Fear, and then immediately after that, yeah, I want to say we played for Rico. Played for Rico. That was an intense matchup on the Alpha Station. I don't know how many of you were able to catch the first series. We were able to win that 3-2. The Hardpoint, we won by like 20. I mean, the score ended up like 242 to like 239, but we knew like when we had a 20-point lead that it was mathematically impossible for them to win. So we kind of just stopped playing and started cheering. You know, like yeah, we won. Let's go, guys. Good job. Then we went to the S&D. The S&D, we ended up losing 6-4 or 6-5. I'm not really sure. No, actually, they dominated us on the raid. We lost that like 6-2 or 6-3. Karma got streaks and was able to just utilize that in the entire game. So he was able to just clutch that for his team. Played very well on the S&D. Then we went on to the CTF. I'm pretty sure we won the CTF 2-1 on Express. They almost got a last-minute flag cap on us with like 14 seconds left. Killer gets a pull, run straight through the middle. Tosh able to call his Hellstorm in, get a kill. Rambo was around the flank. They didn't watch that. He was able to pick up a kill. Then JCap was able to pick up a 2-piece to get the flaggery and secure our victory in the CTF. And then we went on to the next Hardpoint, which was on Slums. I believe we lost that by around 30 points. Again, very, very close games. It was intense. You know, I expected to win the Slums. That's one of our stronger HP maps, but we weren't able to close that out. We ended up losing that by, like I said, 30 points. Then it came down to the last S&D 5-5. They were on offense, we were on defense, and they just every offense they went B and they were just winning it. We're just like, all right, we need to figure something out. So you know, Rambo was like, let's just rush it, all 4, get your subs out, let's rush B, let's do this. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. This is gonna be awesome. Let's go. Let's just go at these boys. And, you know, JCap was kind of skeptical about it. He was just like, I don't know if we should do this, man. And as someone said, it was an $80,000 rush. And we just book it, and we just go straight at him, you know. No regrets, just boom. Just let's do it, man. Let's just go at him. And, you know, it ended up working out for us. We were able to win that series 3-2. And then it came down to Championship Sunday. Rico was able to beat Optic. Optic was able to beat Complexity, get to play for Rico. And then, you know, Rico beat Optic, and then it came down to our match versus Rico in the finals. And, you know, they played their game in the S&D. I mean, we choked a lot of rounds. We choked 2v1s. We choked 3v2 numbers. They were just the team that was getting clutch in the end, guys. In the last round, I felt like Killer should have died, but, you know, you can't. It's over and done with. You know, they won. And congrats to them. Very, very well played by Rico all tournament. They did have the harder bracket after the pool play, and you saw what seeds you were playing. And, you know, they came and they played and they dominated. But, you know, I feel like it could have went either way in the finals. It was really good games to them. But, you know, yeah, that's how it goes. But, you know, now we're scrimming again. We're getting ready for UMG St. Louis, guys. You guys should tune into that. That's going to be an awesome event. We will be in attendance there. And, you know, I hope you enjoyed this comment, this update on what happened and my experience with COD Champs. It was very fun. I thought it was the best event I've ever attended, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks, guys. Peace.